What do you do when you don't have fancy modifiers, but all you have is a 5-in-1 reflector, a couple of foam boards, and some clamps? And of course, a camera, a lens, a tether cable, some flashes, a computer, wooden backgrounds, and a dog. Can we still create professional, unique food photography lighting setups? The answer is yes. I don't know why I'm whispering. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you 5 unique professional food photography lighting setups using just one 5-in-1 reflector and a few bounce cards. Hopefully this can show you that you don't need any fancy modifiers and that you can create amazing light and amazing images with what you probably already have. This one is one of my favorites. I call it golden hour because, well, the light mimics what it looks like when the sun is just over the horizon. It's typically very warm and has a golden hue to it. So that's what this lighting setup is going to achieve. To really get this right, I needed 2 flashes. One for my ambient light, which is what will mimic reflected light coming from the blue sky, and that light is shooting here into the diffuser, which is held up by these 2 white foam boards. The flash is angled in so that it shoots through the diffuser, bounces off of this white board, and then bounces into this white board, and then it kind of just circulates and fills the space and helps make that light look flat, which is what we want. And lastly, I added a half CTB gel to the flash to make it look more realistic, as if it's coming from the blue sky. Then I added a backlight. I positioned it about 4 feet from my setup to mimic the effect the sun has, because obviously the sun is very far. And then I added a full CTO gel on it to give it that warm effect. And I also positioned it in a way where the light would hit the side of my foam board to create this hard shadow line in my frame. So that's what I'm trying to go for here. It helps it make it look more realistic. I call this the 2-in-1 because you can essentially create 2 motivated light sources with just one flash and a reflector. I essentially pointed the flash into the reflector and bounced light into my scene. That light then bounces into my white foam board and then back onto my subject. And the end result here is that you have a very pleasing backlight. And I'm shooting around 30 to 45 degree angle with respect to my surface, and with this white foam board, the backlight bouncing into it and onto the bowl gives me this nice quality of light that you see in the front. I know what you're thinking. What is unique about this? I know, it's too easy. It's too easy. You point your flash toward the diffuser, then you make sure that your flash is a good distance from the diffuser so that it covers a large area, and then bam, you have soft light. I said bam, like I'm so excited. But I wanted to talk about this lighting setup because where you point your flash with respect to the diffuser actually affects the shape of the light coming through the diffuser. And I used to think it doesn't, but I found that it actually does. So here's what I mean. If I point the flash straight on and take a shot of the diffuser itself, and then I point my flash away and position it closer to the diffuser, and then take that shot, when I compare those 2 images, notice how the light pattern is different in each shot. And more importantly, how it actually makes a difference in how the shadows look on the subject. It's a subtle difference, but I think enough of a difference to have a preference. What do you think? I actually prefer the one that looks more backlit, to be honest. But the fact that I prefer one over the other proves that where you point the flash with respect to the diffuser can make a difference in the end result. The important part to note is that not all diffusion material will diffuse light in the same way. In fact, there are companies out there like Roscoe, for instance, that make different grades of diffusion material. But that's a whole other monster in and of itself, so I won't get into that here. But kind of knowing how your flash looks going through the diffuser at certain angles can help you make more precise creative decisions for your images in the end. Again, not a huge deal for food photography, but it's something to think about. So I found mixing hard light with soft light in one frame can actually yield some interesting results. What I did was I first tilted the diffuser at an angle with respect to my surface. Then I aimed my flash toward the edge of the diffuser so that when it fires, its light spread will both shoot through the diffuser and shoot directly into the scene at the same time. And this is what created both hard light and soft light in one frame. So it kind of looks like part of my flash missed the diffuser, but in this case, that's actually the point. And from looking at the results, it kind of works. I like it. What I did for this shot was I put my diffuser on my light stand and I placed it next to my setup. The flash is placed right behind the diffuser and it's raised up pretty high so that it can shoot off of the edge of the diffuser and create this hard shadow line that you see in the image. Now, I posted this photo about a week ago on my Instagram and it was from this exact setup. It used the same concept as the last lighting setup, which is firing the flash off of the edge of the diffuser. But in this case, it created a noticeable hard line in the center of my image. And then I added a second flash here shooting through the diffuser to give the left side a slight bump in exposure because the first flash was already firing at full power and it wasn't giving enough light in that shadow area. And then lastly, I added a white foam board attached to a small ladder on camera right, which is filling in some shadows on the right side of this image. Now, what I want to note here is that I didn't just randomly come up with these lighting setups hoping they worked and then teach you how to do it. These lighting setups were actually inspiration. They were inspired by observing how light behaves in everyday life, whether that's light coming through my curtains or how it reflects off of a building. It's all from inspiration. All right, well, hopefully this video was able to inspire you to use what you already have to experiment and create more awesome images. Hit that like button if you found this video helpful and subscribe if you'd like to continue seeing content like this from me. Also, I'm learning how to build an email list because I do hope in the future to make some courses. So if you'd like to stay in the tune for that, I left a link to my website in the description below where you can sign up. And if you do sign up, you will receive only updates on courses or new content, and that's it. I will not spam you with nonsense or sell your email or anything. If you sign up now and in the future you decide it's still not for you, then simply unsubscribe. No hard feelings. And then lastly, I want to thank you for watching this video all the way through and any of my other videos that you've seen so far. If you're already subscribed to this channel, I especially want to thank you for your support, even if that means just taking the time to watch these videos that I make on the internet. It really means a lot to me and I'm looking forward to creating more. All right, thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.